One of, if not the most talked about prospect going into the college basketball season was Cameron Boozer. As the former son of a former NBA All-Star, Boozer showed flashes of why he was talked about so much. As one of, and might be, the most accomplished high school basketball player of all time, Boozer rightfully was talked about in a high regard, and he showed at Duke this season he is the face of consistency. At the Combine this spring, Boozer measured in at 6'8", weighing in at 253 pounds with a wingspan of 7 feet and 1 inches. Despite being an undersized power forward or center, Boozer used that physicality to his advantage and would punish players that were not only bigger than him, but much older than him as well. I think one of the biggest questions going into the college basketball season was, okay, we know Boozer is talented, but is a lot of that talent just because he's bigger than everyone in high school? Really quickly, Boozer debunked that and showed, okay, maybe I am a little bit shorter than the other bigs that I'm going up against, but I'm much more skilled than them. When we look at Boozer's pie chart of his play style, a lot of it is at the rim and a lot of it is playing out of the post. But for someone his size, and I think who's considered, I guess, an underwhelming athlete, which doesn't mean he's a bad athlete, it just means compared to some of the other players in the NBA and in this draft, he's not the same level of athlete. He is an incredible playmaker for someone of his size. That is probably what's most intriguing about his game outside of his physicality. This past season at Duke, there was times where he reminded me of Draymond Green in the way that he could direct traffic at the top of the key. A lot of their action at Duke ran through Boozer, and it started with him at either the nail at the free throw line or at the top of the key, and he was able to run the offense. That's extremely important for NBA teams now, that positional versatility. We see big men who are able to run an offense, and we also see players like Jalen Brunson, who just won Finals MVP, be able to play out of the post. Outside of that, like I mentioned, his physicality is incredible for someone his age. He is able to back down players that are much taller than him, and he's able to play out of the post and score effectively. When you're looking at a prospect in the draft cycle each year, there really isn't a player that analytically checks all the boxes like Boozer does. Not only is he extremely effective as an offensive player, but he's also very good at defense as well. Despite being undersized, which is going to be talked about a lot during the draft and be criticized, which I don't think is rightfully so, he is able to stand his ground with players that are bigger than him. Something that doesn't really get talked about much, or I don't hear when scouting players, is yes, blocking shots and getting steals is incredibly important to being a solid defender to a great defender in the NBA. But the name of the game in the NBA is space, and Boozer takes up a lot of space. I don't think that we'll be seeing him get a bunch of blocks and racking up these 2 to 3 block games in the NBA, but there is not a defensive rebound that he does not think that he can't get. Something that really stood out to me when watching him is there is nobody in the college basketball world right now that boxes out better or quicker than he does. Not only does that allow him to get rebounds, but it allows his teammates to get rebounds, and it deters the other team from crashing the boards on offense. When you look at his shot chart, obviously a lot of those shots are coming underneath the basket, and that's whether his teammates are feeding him under the basket or it's an offensive rebound, and a lot of times it is quick off his feet and it's a quick layup or he tries to dunk it. Something else that I noticed is he has really good footwork for someone his size and his weight. He has these quick feet that don't necessarily translate to speed, but they translate to being able to get to a spot on the floor and finish effectively. He also has this really good Euro step that he utilizes a lot when attacking the basket. And for someone his size, and like I said earlier, that lack of athleticism per se, he is really nimble around the basket when driving. When looking at these player comparisons, I don't really see one that I completely like because he is so hard to compare. The reason he's so hard to compare to other players is because he has this unique play style. One comparison that I have seen is Kevin Love, and I think there is shades of Kevin Love in his game because Boozer is a good shooter, especially for someone his size, and he's an incredible rebounder. A lot of people do forget that in Minnesota, Kevin Love was one of the best rebounders in the entire NBA. With that being said, I think he is more skilled than Kevin Love, and I think he's going to be a more modern version of that, where he's able to space the floor at an extremely high rate, and he's a better passer. As always, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.